I was scrolling through TikTok. And I saw this clip of Scott Jennings. And I was like, I don't think we've played this here on the show. And he's just sitting there dismantling the entire CNN panel. And so I have it here. And it's totally reminiscent on when you have like that crazy friend or that crazy family member that's just spewing a bunch of nonsense, like this leftist BS stuff. And you're hand to God, you're sitting there going like, where the hell are you getting this from? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's basically, and I apologize, some of you say, Brad, please stop cussing. I'm working on it. But like, what are you talking about here? Here's Scott, and here's this psycho lady.
That tortures people. I don't want to be bringing back waterboarding. I don't want to be a country that tortures people, especially if we're the kind of country that's going to be using the military against our own citizens.
Well, wait,
this kind of thing concerns me.
What do you mean use against our own citizens?
I'm talking about
you
sending...
said blue states behave. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about sending the military into blue states to make them behave.
She's crazy. I will tell you why. I'm going to go back. She full-blown, she goes cross-eyed. Well, I'm going to tell you this. She actually does that. Watch. Her head cocks to the left like she's psycho. Well, I'll tell you this. I promise you, hand to God, watch it. She does it.
Talking about
right there.
sending...
Blue states.
Oh. I'm going to start it over. I apologize. But watch it. She does it. She's psycho.
Be bringing back waterboarding. I don't want to be a country that tortures people, especially if we're the kind of country that's going to be using the military against our own citizens.
Well, wait,
this kind of thing concerns me.
What do you mean use against our own citizens?
I'm talking about
you
sending...
said blue states behave. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about sending the military into blue states to make them behave. Getting Gavin Newsom under control, getting J.P. Pritzker under control.
What are you
making
talking
sure
about? What do you mean? Like sitting into the state capitol to commandeer the state government?
I mean, I hope not, but I'm definitely, he's definitely talked about that. I don't know why you're acting like you've never heard
the military
this before.
to suppress, in the Black Lives Matter era, those protests in the street.
He was there himself.
Actually,
I just make sure I understand your position, that you believe Donald Trump is going to use the military to set up effectively like coups in state capitals of states that he didn't win?
I think you're taking it a step or two.
No, she said
far.
Make blue states behave, and she also said round up immigrants. That's not true. Well, it's deport illegal immigrants.
Scott,
I think you just
Scott, I don't know why you're acting. No.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. Hold on. I mean, look. I think you're right. Let's be precise. Trump has wanted to use the military to do things domestically that actually the military is not allowed to do. I think that's the point that she's making.
Like what?
Like deport illegal immigrants. That is actually not a function of the military.
The military can absolutely be used to work with local officials to provide military resources, but working with other parts of the federal government and local officials. We already send the National Guard to the border.
Not against the will of the local officials or the will of the state government. We have a federalist government here.
The military is not supposed to take up arms against American citizens. Period.
They're not. You keep saying that. This is about illegal immigration. You all keep saying American citizens.
Well,
how do we know
whether the people are illegal or not?
Well, when we
know after they're shot.
We have 1.6.
We know after they die.
We have 1.6 million people in this country who've already received deportation orders from courts. They are here illegally.
No, it's always back to illegal immigration with people who support Donald Trump. It's always back to illegal immigration. But that's not the only thing that we're talking about here. We're talking about the American people. We're talking about taking up arms against them with a military that's supposed to be protecting them.
This is not right. You cannot say Donald Trump is sending the military to
round
up.
That's what he said. That is what he is saying, Scott.
That's not what I'm saying.
Totally false.
He said that.
Totally false.
That's what he said.
Scott, Trump.
We're in the fever swamps, Andy. I'm sorry.
What is your dispute here? I'm not even really
because they're saying that he's sending the military to shoot or round up American citizens.
We did not say shoot.
I think
yes, you did. Yeah, the black dude, that guy right there, totally did say that. Yes, he did. No, he didn't say it. See the psychos that sit there and work and run CNN? They're psycho. And somebody's commenting on her ponytail. Hell yeah, that thing was probably way too tight. You gotta unravel that lady. Pulling her face back like, what do you mean, Scott? They're gonna take everybody. Dude, you thought we were going back to normalcy here. No. If anything, these people's heads are spinning 1,000 miles an hour and they don't have a coherent thought coming out of their head. There's not much going on up there. I mean, a case in point of what we just saw, but Scott has to just be sitting there going, what the fuck? What? And it's kind of messed up because if you really think about it, there's all those people there that are all spewing the same nonsense. You almost feel like the crazy one at the table. The problem is it's everybody else is crazy. Donald Trump's going to use the military to go after American citizens. No, he's not. He's never even talked about that. I don't know where you pulled that from, but out of thin air, kind of like Anthony Fauci, which we'll get to in a little bit. And then they go, well, how are they going to know if they're illegal or not? Well, they don't have the paperwork. Well, they're probably illegal. If you can't sit there and track where they came from, and neither can I, like can they, where they're like, well, I don't know, sir. I don't know, senor. I came from somewhere. Well, then you probably could sit there and speculate and make sure they got their papers in order before you get them out of here. Well, then he goes, well, how are you going to tell? What are you going to shoot them? What are they going to be able to talk after they're dead? What? That's what we're dealing with. And that ain't changing, folks. I have speculation that CNN is saying they want to change. And you hear rumors, right, that MSNBC is going to be sold off and they're going to be split up or whatever the hell. I think these people are still going psycho. And I'll tell you what was my key indicator that I think CNN, MSNBC, all these outlets, I don't think they're going to change it in a Trump administration. I think they're going to revert back to what we saw in 2016. Remember Jim Acosta always interrupting Donald Trump on the podium when he's talking about COVID or whatever. And Trump's like, shut up, Jim. Jim, you're rude. Jim, you're disrespectful. You're fake news, Jim. CNN is fake news. Nobody gives a shit, Jim. Jim, your breath stinks. Smells like the horse manure. Like, who's going to replace him and the current White House correspondent? I heard it's going to be Caitlin Collins. The very few times that I call somebody the B word that has a resting B face, she's going to be in place, allegedly, in that White House press briefing, which means you're basically going to see another Jim Acosta. Somebody wants a spotlight. Somebody doesn't know anything about politics. And just like all these other people on the panel, pull stuff out of her, that doesn't make any sense. Well, Patriots, if you're having a good time, hit that like button. We got more news to cover, and we will continue to cover it. If you feel like we deserve a subscription, it's free. You don't have to pay for it. It's just hit the button, and you'll be notified whenever we go live, which is every single morning, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're here weekdays, baby. And a lot of people are asking about Supernatural Saturdays. I'm going to try to do one. Now, I don't know why I make it seem like it's hard, but I got to do one. They're fun. I really do have a good time. So be on the lookout for that. Spooky Adventures is our second channel.